All right, so we're back, and of course, we're here to talk about Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua, the upset that shocked the world, unless you knew who Oleksandr Usyk was, and really it just depended on when he got started, and he got started from the opening bell, so it was all downhill from there from AJ, but we had a watch party this weekend. We watched that and the UFC 266 card. We had a blast. Thank you guys for coming on by and watching that with me. I appreciate you always. Don't worry, because we got one coming up very, very soon. If you guys don't know, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are fighting on October 9th. We're going to go ahead and start promoting it now. Why the f not? Another watch party on the 9th. That's a massive fight. It's the other two of the 4 horsemen in the heavyweight division. Hopefully, that'll just bring us one step closer to crowning the undisputed heavyweight champ of the world. So I want to see you all right here October 9th for that watch party. It's going to be a wild one. All right, so let's get into the breakdown. How Oleksandr Usyk pulled off this upset of AJ in his home country. He's the most respectful, disrespectful man in history. He goes to your hometown in front of your friends and home fans, takes your belt, takes your respect, your honor, your pride. He might as well take your lady, your finances, your family, and your friends as he heads out the door. And now with this win, put himself in the conversation of one of the greats of all time, regardless of division. Some will say, how did Anthony Joshua let this happen? How did he let this smaller guy come up and do what he did? It's not that AJ let a bunch of stuff happen. It's that Oleksandr Usyk made it happen. And I'm going to tell you why. Oleksandr Usyk, Anthony Joshua, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so like I said, one of the first things, and again, people have their own opinions. You can say whatever you want, but something I really had an issue with was people going, AJ, he's not a heavyweight great. He's not made to hold the titles. He's not got the heart for this. His head's not in it. He looked like shit. He wasn't himself. All these things, and I have to look at those people and go, what did he do differently than you saw in the Andy Ruiz 2 fight? What did he do differently than you saw in the Pkwy fight? Other than the fact that those 2 guys he was fighting weren't Oleksandr Usyk. See, for me, I didn't see much of a change in Anthony Joshua. Maybe that's the thing that everybody's talking about. Where's the improvement? And I can understand that, but it wasn't that Anthony Joshua was worse. And the point of the conversation being Anthony Joshua, it kind of takes away from how great Oleksandr Usyk was. I think people want to point the finger at Joshua and not look across the aisle and say, well, wait a second, that might be and is the best boxer he's ever faced. So yes, Anthony Joshua wasn't up to snuff. There were things he could have done to have a better shot at this fight, and we talked about him before the fight happened. He needed to start early and land things to make Usyk respect the power he had in his right hand, whether it was the straight rights, the overhands, the hooks, the uppercuts. He needed to find a way to gain Usyk's respect so that Usyk wasn't constantly coming forward. But it was the complete opposite because Usyk started right away. As the first round bell went, Usyk was on the front foot and he was showing all the movement. It was his ability to use that upper body movement, then incorporate the legs on the jab feint, and because of that aggressive front foot from Usyk and the popping of the jab constantly, it was almost like he didn't respect the AJ power. He didn't respect anything that AJ was bringing because he saw what we saw in the Ruiz fight, in the Pkwy fight, a guy that was going to stick behind his jab early, not take too many chances, but Usyk did a great job again with his lead foot. He would step to the outside, lean, and pop the jab underneath, and the next time he'd step to the outside and pop the jab over the top, or maybe a check right hook. These were just different ways to get AJ looking at that lead hand and preparing for it and finding out where it's coming from and forgetting about that straight left hand, because every time Usyk stepped outside with that lead right foot, the left foot was lined up for the straight left hand directly behind it, and it landed continuously during this fight. It gave us that opposite effect of what I predicted should happen if AJ wants to win. AJ gets the respect of Usyk by landing power shots. Instead, it was Usyk gaining the respect and putting, I don't want to say the fear, but putting the caution into AJ coming forward with the big straight left hand. And again, it happened in the first round and it happened throughout the fight. I think that was the most surprising thing for me. Watching Usyk start so quickly, it almost gave AJ no time to think, breathe, adjust, anything. He was just on the back foot, being reactive to everything that was happening to him. There was no time to adjust because he couldn't get his bearings from the first round. Usyk was just dangerous in every position. AJ knew it. It was like AJ was trying to guard every single thing and trying not to be touched. And that's what made AJ throw those kind of placed jabs where there was really nothing behind it and there was no intent behind it. And that's why Usyk again was able to slip a lot of those and come inside because he wasn't fearing any type of recourse. These were things that AJ had never seen. Not with that speed, not with that athleticism, not with the ability to do it continuously with that gas tank for 12 rounds. This is the giddy little fanboy inside me that just wants to go out. It makes me want to go out and box. Like, you watch Usyk fight and his footwork on the inside, his ability to not only feint his way in with the lead hand, but just get you to pay attention to the lead hand so that he can slowly change that angle and set up the straight left down the pipe. And then he's doubling up on that, and he's coming forward, landing 4, 5, 6 punch combos on AJ without any kind of answer. It was just a masterclass to watch. That's all I can describe it as, a masterclass. And again, Usyk proved in round 3 he could stop the bigger man. He has the power to fight at this division, and this is why, again, AJ was a tad bit more hesitant, because he gets caught with a big overhand left. It wobbled AJ to the point where he was hurt, at least stumbled, and Usyk followed up, but he did so with a patient presence. It wasn't, let me get this guy out of here because this is my one chance. He truly felt and showed that for 12 rounds, he could do that. And to be fair to AJ, he had a good round 5, round 6. He started to turn the tide a bit. He was looking to land the right hand. He was a little bit more aggressive. He was trying to stomp that pressure out from Usyk and put him on the back foot, and he did so successfully for those 2 rounds, but really, it was just those 2 rounds. Like I said, it just felt like AJ was having a hard time putting it together. Usyk had zero respect for that power. He felt it, and he didn't think anything of it, so what did he do? Stood right in front of AJ. As we get into rounds 11 and 12, the championship rounds, Usyk is a fresh fighter, and he is coming forward, especially toward the end of round 12. He puts together a beautiful combo with the overhand left, the uppercut, the right hook, the straight left, everything, and he's pushing AJ back on the ropes. I think 10 to 20 more seconds left in the last round, and he probably finishes AJ at home. And something interesting too that just kind of helps me understand the mindset as we were in round 12 that both AJ and Usyk had, as the horn sounds, Usyk continues to kind of walk forward like, all right, I'm still here, let's go some more. And AJ is pumping his fist like, yes, yes. And it's not a yes like, I won the fight, yes. It's yes, I survived. That was one of the biggest indicators as to kind of how this fight was looked at from both guys from the start of the fight to the end of it, right? As the start of the fight happened, both guys were super confident, of course. But toward the end of that fight, because of what continued to happen, Usyk was the one pushing forward. Even if he's going to go give AJ a hug, I don't know. He's still walking forward toward AJ in the corner, and AJ's on the ropes, with his back on the ropes, walking against it, pumping his fist like, yes, thank God I didn't get knocked out in my hometown. That's fucking crazy. Usyk just taught him a lesson. Really, that was just a boxing masterclass. You can prepare for it, and AJ had some things he could have done, but at the end of the day, once that fight started and Usyk was having the success he was having early, it was just going to get worse from there. AJ can't fight in one speed with one strategy and one offense and expect to beat guys that can change and can adjust and can, again, show different looks for multiple rounds. And now he's seen a guy not only that goes 12 with him, but pushes him for 12. So AJ, of course, is going to need to fix a lot of things. I think it starts up here, him finding a way to believe that what everybody else believes about him, that he's a heavyweight destroyer, that he's a guy that can go in and get anybody out of there, and he has these physical talents that really no one else in the heavyweight division has. But even if he fixes all that, AJ could fix every single thing that is wrong with him. He will still not be as good a boxer as Oleksandr Usyk, and that is what makes the wild card, the Joker, scary. Not just for AJ, for anyone in the heavyweight division. So hats off to Usyk. As we leave off today, guys, the question really is, what happens in the rematch? I'm not going to get into full breakdowns right now, but let's just say AJ needs to adjust and he needs to fix some things. And even if he does fix those things, I don't know if it matters. And again, another question as we leave off, are we closer to that unified heavyweight champion, undisputed champion of the world? We're going to find out on October 9th. I want to see you guys right here again. Another WADE concept watch party. This is going to be, no pun intended, a wilder fight than you saw from Usyk and Joshua. Who wins that one? Who wins a rematch between Usyk and Joshua? And are we going to see an undisputed heavyweight champion in the year 2022? Hopefully, maybe 2023. I don't have the answers, but as you guys know, guess we'll find out.